All right, and we should be live. Just checking my encoder right now. Yeah, okay. Hopefully I'm unmuted. Looks like it. Yeah, so I what the heck am I doing? I just got home and I had a whole bunch of fun little exciting side projects get put on my desk just now. So I thought why not do it a little like turn it into a stream. But yeah, we've got I've got clay to organize because we just finished the Popeye project. I have a client job that I'm doing right here, and I also got a package that came from I I ordered it for Brick Bob Films, and I have an order. So we have a lot going on. Holy peak. Okay, live chat's working. Yo, what's up, guys? This is my first spontaneous stream, but I could not resist because I'm gonna be at my desk anyway. So I thought, just why not do it? Make it into a little event. Because there's some fun stuff going on tonight, and I thought, why not just include you guys in on it? Hey, thanks, Buck Brothers. Yeah, well, I mean, you guys pulled up. But yeah, no, there's a lot of fun stuff going on. Uh, okay, so since you guys are here right now, underneath my desk, underneath my desk, right now, charging, is my old laptop from childhood. The same laptop that I started Brick Bob Films with when I was 11. It it's currently charging. I had to order this antiquated old charger for it on Amazon, and it is giving me a charging indicator. It would probably power on now, but I want to give it a little bit of time. But there's enough to go over right now. Hey Tim, glad to have you as always with your witty energy. But yeah, let me just get into it. But guys, like talk amongst yourselves, and I'm just gonna get right to it. But yeah, so I'm trying to think what I should do first. Okay, well, there is one thing that I've really been waiting to do because it's been driving me crazy for the longest time. You guys know how much I can't stand the clay situation. Wait, can you guys see just like what a mess it is down there? Yeah, you can see it. Anyway, check this out. Look at what I got on Amazon. Got a enormous box of Tupperware. I hoped that I ordered a sufficient amount of Tupperware, and I hope that the Tupperwares will, have a sufficient amount of depth to them, that they can hold a sufficient amount of volume. But we're just gonna have to see. If anything, I'm just gonna have to order a few more tups, but it shouldn't be bad. Let's take a look. I can already smell the fresh, unused Tupperware. Yeah, Tim, I'll get to that. So, like, now that I'm done with Popeye, I'm like gearing up for Brick Bob Films. I still can't believe that Popeye's done, but I I am so excited to just get some cleanup with this clay situation because I just can't stand like having it sitting around. The closet needs to be, it needs new furniture that will fully utilize the space better. But yeah, we are doing a client project right now, which I'll get into a bit later. Yeah, so I even got a big one for like the massive amount of filler clay that we have. Yeah, and these small ones for some of the more incidental colors. Ay, ay, ay. I'm like so excited for this. So, yeah. Oh, my hands are gonna have to get so dirty. I'm gonna have to get like knee deep in every color. Yeah, Ace Moneymaker, it was like growing up, there were a lot of weird, obscure games I played on like my grandparents' old Dell computer. And my mom like got me and my sister like a small like Windows Vista laptop when we were kids for us to share. And it was like, yeah, unfortunately it got stolen, which was devastating. We got like robbed while traveling. But I no, those games, those were all the games I like reviewed on Clay Kremling. And I had a lot more games I wanted to like build up to because like Clay Kremling had lore, but it just the series just didn't last long enough to for me to get to some of those really special games. Yo, Straw, what's good? Yeah, Buck Brothers, every day is a journey in us trying to improve as creators, as storytellers. I mean, look at me. Like it never ends, but like that's also part of the fun, you know? Is the mic quiet? Wait, actually, let me hold on a second. I always have my YouTubes muted. I don't know. I always have my YouTubes muted. Sounds pretty good to me. Yo, Chicken Invaders. Dude, Chicken Invaders was like that was meant to be the finale to the Clay Kremling series. Like there was going to be like I had like this really elaborate like Clay Kremling space adventure, like campy space adventure Saturday morning cartoon type vibe in mind for Clay Kremling. Clay Kremling was going to get captured by a villain that would it was going to be Morhun or Morhun as I call him in disguise, and he would like strap Clay Kremling to like a torture chamber and force him to play all of the Chicken Invaders games. I actually played the final Chicken Invaders games last year, and they're fun, genuinely like really fun games. Where is the... I need a lid for this. The lid, the lid, the lid. Right in here. All right, brown. Straw, I don't know if I answered your question. There's like a few things going on. Like, so I have an order to ship. I have a client project going on. I'm charging my old computer that has not turned on probably close to like 10 years at this point, and we don't even have a charger for it. I got like a charger for it on Amazon for really cheap. It's like an old antiquated charger, and it's charging up right now. I want to open it up later to see if I can find any old animations that may be long forgotten or lost media, basically stuff from like before Brick Bob Films. I'm gonna put the pink in. Pink is another color that gets dirty so quick, so I go through it kind of quick. Oh yeah, so what I'm doing here is also to help with the clay storage situation, which admittedly is just so disgraceful. I don't like seeing this stuff on the floor. I ordered these Tupperwares to help preserve it better and also help with organization, because I am going to fix, like, I want my closet to fully utilize the space for storage, because like the rest of my room is like coming along, but the closet is still not where it should be. It's untapped potential. It gets the job done, but just needs to be more neat. Yeah, no, so Straw, there are some animations that I remember making in like during childhood, like tons, because keep in mind that it wasn't only Brick Bob Films that I was making when I was a kid. It was like a whole bunch. I had like Lego Star Wars stuff. I did stuff with like stuffed animals. I like practiced with clay. Not as much as I want to, but I did do stuff with clay. I remember that I never felt good enough to make stuff with clay because I was doing Legos so much. I even made an animation with my annoying orange plushies, the ones that where you would hit the button and they would say a voice line. I had those. I made an animation with those because I loved annoying orange when I was a kid. All right. Oh, Mario's game gallery. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Chicken Invaders 1 is the only one I've never played. Chicken Invaders 2 is the I guess the oldest one that I've played. I couldn't get I could not get the first Chicken Invaders game to run on my computers, but also it wasn't for sale on the web platform, like where I would get all of my games. Hold on a second. Yeah, annoying orange. Like, it's crazy how old that feels now. Markiplier, like, the thing was, like, well, I'm trying to think who I watched. I guess I watched Game Grumps a bit, but I did watch some Markiplier. Like, a lot of other people, I watched him play all the Five Nights at Freddy's games until they got a little bit weird, like boring, in my opinion. But no, watching him play Five Nights at Freddy's was a lot of fun. And I watched him play some other like horror stuff. But like I remember Markiplier was like one of those channels that would just upload very, very frequently, and like even though I liked him, I was like I'm not going to be watching him play all of these games like all week long, you know? But no, I see the appeal for Markiplier. Seems like a really nice dude, and he's also like, I mean, I could totally be wrong about this, but I feel like he's also like a really rare example of like a content creator that hasn't gotten into some kind of a controversy. Like to me, Markiplier, like his he knows what he's doing. He knows how to, I guess, maintain professionality. But then again, I don't quote me on this because you never know. But overall, seems like a pretty nice dude. I don't know him personally, but like now he's what doing films or something? Iron Lung. I did watch Matt Pat when I was a kid. I eventually like grew out of Matt Pat, but he was someone that I really liked, particularly during the early days of game theory. Yeah, I remember like man, game theory was like one of those shows that I thought was like I mean, of course it was video game related, and there's just video games is just like so it's so ingrained into how a lot of people our generation have grown up, or my generation. I don't know how old all of you are, but like it's it made the educational side of it more palatable because it was germane to just something that I was really, really, really enthusiastic about. You could tell me about the physics of how like a rocket ship got to the moon, a real rocket ship got to the moon, and I'll be bored out of my mind. But then you could make a 15-minute long YouTube video about how a, a video game character could fly to the moon and talk about all the physics of it and this and that and this and that, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm all for it. Funny how that works. You're turning 23 and you're an old man. Bro, you're good. I'm 24. But it's okay because, like, I became an old man, I think, by, like, the eighth grade. I definitely feel like an outdated old grandpa, like 90% of the time. Which is intensified, excuse me, by the fact that like I'm I try to avoid the internet like as much as I can. Like I'm not in I don't really know anything about like this internet culture stuff. Like there are YouTubers out there that have made careers just talking about like what the latest drama is on Twitter. That's I don't think that will ever be me. Yeah. Never say like you can never say never because it's like everything that you put online is immortalized. It stays online. Is that gonna fit? I don't think that's gonna fit. Any opinion that I give about this or that could likely change at some point. Custom backgrounds. Oh my gosh. I don't even remember that. I remember what YouTube I remember what YouTube looked like when I mean my memory's really foggy when I was watching like Gummy Bears, the Gummy Bear music video as a kid. Like memory's really fuzzy there of what the interface looked like, but I vividly remember what the interface looked like around the time I started Brickbob Films. Yeah, there are like so I also said that I watched Game Grumps, but like the thing about me is that I tend to watch stuff like in waves. Like I'll watch someone for a bit and then like take a break for a long time, but then come back and revisit. Game Grumps was like one of those fun things to like listen to in the background of doing whatever. But they definitely like there are some Let's Plays I just love going back to every now and again. Like the Sonic the Hedgehog ones. Those are oh my gosh. Those just get a kick out of me. Because admittedly, I'm like I'm gonna be fully honest with you guys. I'm also one of those people that just loves to rip on Sonic the Hedgehog. Not saying he hasn't been in anything good. Like the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, like honestly, have way more going for them than the Mario movies, for example. Because I was a Mario kid growing up, but yeah, I loved ripping on Sonic. Ace. So yeah, no, Obsession. I gotta see. I I'm trying to catch up on all these movies that are coming out. Michael Jackson movie, Obsession, maybe Backrooms. Like if it stands on its own, like I'll probably see it. But yeah, maybe I'll even see Masters of the Universe. Just for kicks, just for like why was this made? Because like I don't know, box office performance I don't think is reflective. Not it's not always reflective of how good the movie is. I'm guessing the Michael Jackson movie did well at the box office. I don't know where to put these. But like I watched the Michael Jackson movie last night and I was like, oh, it's so disappointing. So disappointing. Yeah, I Iron Lung like it's crazy to see how like all these films coming out by YouTubers. And I said this in one of my recent streams, like the Steven Spielbergs of tomorrow. This is where they're getting their start here on YouTube, doing this. Let's see. A lot of yellow. Yeah, this morning I watched a trailer for the Masters of the Universe film. I don't I feel like I really don't get a lot out of trailers. Like trailers like usually don't I don't know. I don't watch a lot of trailers, which is gonna sound really weird because back in the day when going to the movies was like way more common, I At least for me, going to the movies was more regular. Like nowadays, I like barely ever go to the movies. Uh, but like, yeah, that was where I would see the trailers for stuff. Now it's like not a lot of movies are coming out, and not only that, but you go to the movies and you're seeing ads. I'm like, what is this? For me, like going to like paying money to see a movie, like a movie in the theater, and seeing ads, like TV ads, like to me there's something really off about that. Like really not right. It like these are the ads that you see on television. Not when you pay a bunch of money to go to experience a new theatrical picture in a theater. Like to me it's just not right. Decepticon, what's up? Good to have you back. We're doing a little spontaneous stream here, working on a few miscellaneous projects. But I've like, I was gonna be at my desk anyway, so I thought, why not just kick on a stream, see who shows up. Yeah, it's a little bit of a Draconis. What's up? Welcome back. Yeah, it's like it's kind of a weird time right now because I know what I'm gonna work on next, more or less. It's gonna be Brick Bob Films, but now I'm like in the weird period of time where I'm not actively working on a project day in and day out. So it's kind of my stream schedule is reflecting that. So we're just improvising a little bit. But I'm always ready for a hour-long nerd conversation about movies or video games or cartoons or whatever. Backrooms and Digital Circus. Yeah, just another thing for me is that like, oh my gosh. I don't know what theaters you guys all have in your area, but like the big theater in my area is an AMC, and it's just like $20 for a movie ticket. It's just crazy. $20 to go somewhere where the chairs aren't comfortable, the audience could potentially negatively affect your experience. You have to watch ads. The movie doesn't start until like a half hour past the scheduled time. It's just there's so many expensive hurdles that just get in the way. It's not even mentioning the fact that like, what if you have to use the bathroom or something like that? Not saying that that's just like an issue for me. I don't have an old man bladder quite yet, but like, I don't know. Like I have a 55-inch OLED screen, and I have I have my couch bed in front of it. It's so comfortable watching anything on it, you know? Usually the films that I see in the theaters these days are like they're like Fathom events, you know what I mean? Like maybe an anime film or something like that. Yeah, Draconis. I like I was saying before. It's like now that I'm done with Popeye, I'm like, it's being reflected in my streaming schedule. Like I'm like, ooh, what do I do? But I figured that I had a bunch of stuff to do tonight. I'm like, you know what? Why not just throw on a stream, see who shows up? How many of these do I have? Oh, this is half the size. There's a good chance that I might have to order a few additional large tups, but that's okay. Yeah, I like Ace Moneymaker. I have a local theater too, and I feel good about going there and like giving them my money, first of all, it's cheaper. And whenever people want to go see a movie together, I'm always like, can we go see it at like the local theater? You know, support a local business and stuff like that. But just so many movies that come out nowadays, I'm not really interested enough to see it in the theater. Oh, this big hunk of yellow that I have right here. This is oh wow. Do you see that? Look at this. This was the head from Squid Bob Tentacle Pants. You can still see the expression in it, kinda. You guys see that? That's so cool. Oh, yeah, reduced to a clay mush. I drive myself crazy when handling the clay because I'm always picking out debris and dust and this and that and this and that from it. But it's never going to be fully clean. Though I do wonder how dirty, like, my level of thinking is that like there's no limit to how dirty it can get if carelessly handled, which is why I'm just always cleaning it. I have to just not be too much of a hypochondriac, about, not hypochondriac, just too much of a too OCD about it because otherwise I'll just never get through putting all this clay away. I don't even know if I can fit it in this tub. It's mogging. Oh, straw. Oh, straw. You are a funny boy. Or girl. I'm not sexist. Yeah, oh my gosh. Ace Moneymaker. Like, oh, and the Mandalorian and what goo, Grogu's came out, and I cannot. I stopped caring about all new Star Wars stuff since Rise of Skywalker came out. Like, I've talked about this before. It's like I saw Rise of Skywalker in theaters. I actually have a pin somewhere in my closet. I have a pin that says Rise of Skywalker opening night. Oh my gosh. Dude, seeing Rise of Skywalker on opening night compared to seeing The Last Jedi on opening night, I don't think I saw it. I didn't see Force Awakens on opening night. I think it was like opening weekend. Saw it with the family on Christmas. But oh my gosh, like seeing The Last Jedi on opening night was so much fun. The audience was yelling, everyone was so pumped up. Everyone was just losing their minds. Like we were all like having a good time. Like people were really responsive. And when I saw Rise of Skywalker in theaters, I am not kidding, the theater was dead silent the entire time. Studio logos and the stories behind them. That's a cool little fixation. Yeah, I could talk like all day about just my disdain for Rise of Skywalker, but I'm certainly uh, not alone in that sentiment. Yeah, I just remember like sitting in the theater. Rise of Skywalker comes on. I have no clue where the story's going to go. That's another reason why I don't usually watch trailers is I like to go in blind. I don't need to see like images of the story or I don't know. Just like a movie can look as pretty or ugly as you want, but like the story is what really matters. And I don't know how you can really convey that in a trailer. I feel like often trailers they have to by design convey very superficial points about a movie because it's trying to get butts and seats. Like I get it. Special effects, sets, talent, who's producing, who's directing, all that stuff. Yeah, so I think I saw the Rise of Skywalker trailer where Rey, there's like that evil version of her, and she has that weird lightsaber that's like has two blades and it can like go like this. Just some dumb, stupid stuff. And I remember seeing that and thinking like, what? Are they trying? Do they expect us to believe that Rey is going to turn to the dark side? Like, what? I didn't believe for a second that she would turn to the dark side, and lo and behold, she didn't. You fell asleep during Rise of Skywalker. Draconis, what? Draconis, what? Draconis, I swear, you people in the chat are so full of surprises. Draconis, I can't believe you found that comment. Here I am talking about Rise of Skywalker for the 500th time, and you just pulled up one of the most like beloved things from my childhood. Oh man. Okay, so Draconis, I've been wanting to make Inkspot, what's up? This is a spontaneous stream. I have a bunch of work going on. I'm uh, putting my clay into this Tupperware system I have. I have a client project right here. I have something that I ordered specifically for Brick Bob Films, and I'm shipping out an art piece. So there's a lot going on, but stay in and join in the conversation. But yeah, so Draconis, I've been wanting to make a retrospective video for Mega Bloks Dragons for so long. I just really can't see myself editing something like that for hours and hours and hours. But I have my affinity for Mega Bloks Dragons is very, very deep. That was something that I was into years before Lego SpongeBob, for instance. Like that was my earliest childhood memory. Really, Draconis, I have something you're gonna like. Like I'm not kidding. Like I was so seriously considering doing a video on Mega Bloks Dragons that I ordered these. Not cheap. I have clay on my hands. Look at this. This was from the Plasma series. Yeah, I commented on an unboxing video for this line of figures. I have more of these in my closet that I ordered from eBay, but I wanted a few that were sealed. I remember buying, like my mom getting these for me when they were coming out. That could be worth unfortunately, they're not worth millions, but they are, worth a bit of money. So yeah, what I wanted to do was do like an unboxing video of these while talking about them. But Mega Bloks Dragons was a multi-series line for like, oh, look at that, the old Mega Bloks logo in the top corner there. But yeah, no, there were multiple series of different things with the Mega Bloks Dragons brand. There was Fire and Ice, there was Metal Ages. Those were my favorites. There was the original line, there was Crystal Wars, and then there was Plasma Dragons. But these I want to feature in Brickbob Films. I wanted to do like an unboxing of these and feature these somewhere in the background of Brickbob Films. I haven't done it yet. But yeah, no, I have wanted to do videos talking about certain things from my childhood that were very, very beloved to me. Things aside from Brickbob Films, or rather, Lego SpongeBob. Really? You have a Discord for that? I don't really do Discord stuff. Um, that's really cool, and I appreciate it. I'll let you know if I ever change my mind. Like, I just you could send it to me. I'm trying to think where you could send it. I just I'm probably not going to interact much. I try to avoid like Discord servers aside for like professional use. But I am a member of like the UB Funkies Discord server, which was another. Yeah. I only want to use Discord for work. I don't feel really comfortable on Discord, to be honest, like for just conversing with people. And by people I mean with like complete strangers on the internet. But no, like there are some like really dedicated people. There's also UB Funkies, which I have a few in my closet. Some sealed UB Funkies, but it's just like I would very much like to make videos on them someday. But in the meantime, I can feature them in my animated films. So, for instance, UB Funkies actually had a cameo in Brick Bob Films' Squid Bob Tentacle Pants. And I used some of my Mega Bloks Dragons sets in Brick Bob Films' Hocus Pocus. And what I want to do is I want to use them more, you know? Because those Mega Bloks sets looked so cool. They're awesome. More visually exciting than Legos, you know? Always detested this bag. Detested this whole storage system. Yeah, Draconis, if you want to send the link, yeah, do it on Instagram. That's a good suggestion. If I ever change my mind, I'll like pull up sometime. Because like it wasn't just the sets, the movies. Oh, Dragon's Fire and Ice, Dragon's Metal Ages. The movies were good. I rewatched those last year, and they were good. I thought that, oh my gosh, I thought it was like gonna be really lame, but I enjoyed myself watching those. I want to talk about the movies too. I don't use this clay very much. This like terracotta color. Hmm. James, what's good? Draconis, I had no idea that we had another Mega Bloks Dragons ban in my chat. I feel so at home. I do have a plan to do like an episode of Brick Bob Films that just is loaded with Mega Bloks Dragons. I have not done the episode yet, but I'm hoping. I was thinking I would do it last year, but it just didn't happen. But you know, one step at a time. Just gotta kind of ease back into Brick Bob Films. Oh wait, actually, so while we're on the subject, I want to show you guys something. This little thing that I ordered on eBay, it just arrived today. This was spent more on it than I would care to admit, but it is very rare. I want to show you guys something. You guys are gonna love this. Are you ready? Check this out. Can you guys tell me who this is? I have this thing where when I like depict a character in Rayman, when I depict a character in Brick Bob Films, I want to use like an officially licensed toy just to kind of like keep that consistency with the whole universe. Even if there's no Lego character, there is a YouTuber who made a custom Man Ray figure out of Lego pieces, but I wanted to get this because this figurine is roughly 3 inches in height, which means he will tower over. Well, I just so happen to have these on my desk, so you can see like SpongeBob's right here. He's gonna tower over SpongeBob and even Patrick, and like I've been rewatching SpongeBob lately, like some of my favorite seasons to kind of get in the zone. And I was watching Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3. Great episode, by the way. Really want to make it. And I was like, I feel like Man Ray, like he does have to be larger than life. He does have to be like physically threatening. But yeah, no, I really am hoping to do more episodes of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. I think that the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode is just like okay. It establishes Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy in the SpongeBob universe. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 2 is just okay, but the Dirty Bubble showing up is like epic. I really love the Dirty Bubble showing up. I love the Dirty Bubble. Episode 3, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3 with introducing Man Ray. Such an amazing episode. I don't like 4 very much. I just rewatched 4 just to kind of confirm, and I really just don't think it's that good. I don't like that it doesn't like introduce any. It doesn't introduce. Well, I guess it's, I was gonna say it doesn't introduce any lore to the Mermaid Man in Barnacle Boy universe, but I guess it technically does because it introduces Mermaid Man's belt as like a tool or a power. But I don't like that there's no like villains or anything like that. But then you have Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5, which is just amazing episode. It's amazing. I would love to make that episode. Yo, is that Pasty? Hey. Oh my gosh. Now, everyone in the chat, you're going to want to look out for Pasty. He's kind of a troublemaker. This guy here, he thinks that the Operation Krabby Patty is a good game, and Clay Kremling didn't agree. I'm I'm uh I'm messing with you. Pasty, welcome. Dude, this was Clay Kremling was a show that ran for what was it? Eh, 2 to 3 years, give or take. And somehow, during that time of the 23 episodes, one of them was a collaboration review, and Pasty was he was in the Clay Kremling show. That's no one no one else can say that they were a part of the Clay Kremling series except for this guy. Like, oh my gosh. I I I love when I do these streams. I just never know what's going to happen. We get some we get a lot of like I feel like I'm going back to the past and just talking about all these things that I thought like, oh yeah, no one really cared about when I made this or talked about that and stuff like that. But then you guys show up and you're like, hey, remember that thing? I'm like, wait, you want to talk about that? Like, oh, it's awesome. Pasty, I remember us writing the script together. We wrote a script. I I made a design for your character in clay. I submitted one to you that like looked really weird, and then I revised it and then it looked better. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I played Operation Krabby Patty. Yeah, episode 4 of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy had its moments, but yeah, it's not enough to save it for me. Wait, the Krusty Krab training video was whose first episode? Mine? Oh my gosh. Just the Operation Krabby Patty collab. Was that 2017? I don't think it was 2018. This clay is like dirty. I'm just getting all the debris off of it. Oh, my first episode of SpongeBob was the sponge who could fly. I don't know what it was a VHS tape. I don't know what release it was, but I remember the episodes on it were The Sponge Who Could Fly. That was the first one. There was also Boating School. There was Plankton. The final episode on the cassette was Suds. That was my first, the first SpongeBob anything I could remember seeing. And then the rest was history. Had other VHS tapes come in after that. I guess my mom noticed that I really liked the show. And then when I was a kid and new SpongeBob DVDs would come out, she would pick them up for me at the store. But yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, there were a bunch of SpongeBob games I played on PC as a kid that I wanted to get to on Clay Kremling, but I didn't do I didn't want to do them all at once, you know? I did talk about Atlantis Square Pantis Square Off, which is probably like I think that might be my all-time favorite. It's an amazing game. Really, really fun. This clay's kind of hard. Friend or Foe. I remember getting the DVD of Friend or Foe. Like, I mean, I don't know when Friend or Foe came out, but I remember the DVD. I remember what the box looked like, the front and back. Yeah, yeah, wait, yeah, Pasty, you were also Bubble Buddy. Yeah, no, Pasty was also, yeah, he was featured in the Bubble Buddy episode. He voiced the man himself, the title character. Yeah, and Pasty over here, if I'm you also hosted the Random Encounters Cuphead musical, which I participated in. That was a big project. I think it's on their YouTube channel too. Pasty, please correct me if I'm like totally off here, but I'm pretty sure that was how it goes, like, or how it went. You hosted, you got the whole thing done, and then it just it got uploaded to their channel. I never, I was never up to the task of organizing an entire reanimated collab. It's crazy because like we just finished making a scene. All of us like in the stream, like we just finished making a scene for a reanimated collab together. The Popeye reanimated collab. It's an upcoming one. Popeye and the Phantom. But yeah, it's coming up. And I haven't done a reanimated collab I think since 2019. Yeah, I'm also going to be appearing in what was it? The the Donkey Kong Country reanimated collab. I made a scene. That was like one of the first reanimated collabs I made a scene for. But I think there was some issue with whoever was running the leading the reanimated collabs switched managers or admins a few times, and then long story short, it sounds like my scene got cut, but then someone reached out to me who was taking on the project featuring like the segment of the episode where my scene got cut, and now it's back in the works. It's crazy that I made the scene in like 2019 and only now is it like back on track. 2007? Wow. I thought two, season 5 was in 2007. I feel like it would have been earlier because the movie was in 2004. It's crazy. Yeah, I guess that would line up with the timeline I envisioned. Yeah, I made the, what was her name? Baroness von Bonbon, I think it was, in her castle for that project, for the Cuphead reanimated collab. Uh oh, we got Rocco. What's good? Oh yeah, James. That scene is, gosh, there is a there's such there's such a brilliance, like a simplicity to the first three seasons. Like the fly of despair. Why is it a fly? Why is there despair? I mean, the despair part I can understand because it's the Flying Dutchman. But why is it a fly? I love when they cut back to Squidward and he's still falling in the fly of despair and it's just spaghetti and meatballs. There's just some really random jokes. They're just so funny. The perfume department is so good. Speaking of the Flying Dutchman, I finally watched Search for SquarePants, which I didn't realize was heavily tied to the Flying Dutchman. Finally saw it. Oh yeah, no, Pasty, you were also in the reanimated collab for Donkey Kong. You drew Dixie's face where she's like making a really weird like a duck face or something like that. Not a good description, but like her lips are like really big and Diddy's just kind of looking around like ooh. But yeah, no, I forgot about that. Yeah. Wait, Pasty, I like so I'm never on Twitter anymore. I have my account, but like I just avoid that app like the plague. But like I think the last time I saw your Twitter account, your profile photo was it was the scrapped version that I made of Pasty for the Clay Kremling video because what I did was so I was saying before it was like I made a clay version of Pasty's persona and it did not look very good. It was not my best work. And yeah, I asked him like, how do you feel about this design? And I remember you being like, I really don't know how to feel. And I was like, yeah, this is let me try again. And I think that was the right call. And then I looked and yeah, it was your profile photo. It's crazy. It's crazy how long all of this like happened ago. Wait, really? The you could change wait on the DVD menu? The one of the DVD menus I remember like of SpongeBob growing up was the menu for the Christmas DVD where it's that clip from the Snowball Effect where SpongeBob's like yelling at Patrick and Patrick's like hiding behind the wall like chuckling. Gosh, I have so much nostalgia for Christmas Who, the Snowball Effect, Survival of the Idiots. Procrastination was also on that DVD, and there was like a few more. I don't know why procrastination was on that DVD. It was like an extra episode. But no, that was the reason why during my first year of Brick Bob Films, I made like when the holidays rolled around, I made Christmas Who as my Christmas special, and I knew I was like next year I'm gonna do Survival of the Idiots and Snowball Effect, and I think that was precisely what I did. Yeah, Pasty. It was like regardless of like how true it was to like your persona, I just remember like it was it looked way more friendly. It looked like your character was a sloth, and the first rendition it made Pasty look like some creepy guy with like a beard and like really long hair. It was kind of unsettling. It was just like so. I think yeah, the second one did look better. Yeah, the zipper is really goofy. Really, James, I did not know about that. I did have Shanghai too when I was a kid. That was another like very early like an episode I saw really early on, but I had that episode on VHS, not DVD. Wow, it's crazy. I can't believe. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, the Shanghai, that was like in the very early era of SpongeBob where I was watching the stuff on the VHS tapes. There was I remember that there was one DVD of SpongeBob that I had at my grandmother's house. I think it was SpongeGuard on Duty, I think it was. And I remember that it was the only SpongeBob anything that I had at my grandma's house. So when I would watch it, I would just watch it over and over and over. I think it would annoy her, like how much I would watch it over and over, but like, it was the only SpongeBob piece of media that I had at her house. So I think that was why she just got so sick of it. But yeah, like I remember I would watch that DVD so much that I got sick of like some of the episodes on it, particularly the one where SpongeBob's making jellyfish jam. Well, he's catching the jellyfish for the jellyfish jam. But yeah, that was like an episode I like genuinely got sick of because I just saw it too many times, which is crazy to think because I can't think of any other episodes like that. Yeah, I did not know that there were multiple endings. I had no clue. Yeah, growing up, DVD menus could genuinely like be a lot of fun. DVDs, I preferred VHS. Now, when I was a little kid, I didn't find the quality difference between DVDs and VHS to be big enough to to warrant buying something on a DVD. Granted, I wasn't going out and buying them myself when I was a kid. Of course, I was a kid, so like I didn't notice the quality difference, but like I thought that DVDs were annoying in the sense that they could be scratched, and also they would have previews or like studio or distributor logos that you weren't able to skip. I never used a remote. I always just pushed the buttons on the directly on the DVD player. And I just loved that with VHS you were able to fast forward and rewind like as much as you wanted. Now, of course, it was quicker to skip on a DVD, but I just thought it was so frustrating when you would try to like skip the THX logo, that loud, annoying, obnoxious logo, and you would see the red circle with the line through it on the top right corner. That just drove me nuts. I love being able to talk about just all these pieces of media that we grew up with and just how different things are. Like people tend to romanticize growing up with things like VHS and DVD. But then I think about the amount of previews you had to fast forward through, or if you wanted to fast forward faster, you weren't allowed to see the footage. Like you had to hit stop and then rewind, and or the THX logo that you couldn't skip. And I was like, oh wait, no, there were always like annoying things that like it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Like no, there was annoying stuff about VHS and DVD. Granted, VHS they do look really good on a shelf. They are there's something charming about it that DVDs just can't really replicate. Oh my gosh, pasting the original Aardman logo. I remember seeing that before watching the original three Wallace and Gromit films. I remember seeing those at my grandma's house. It didn't scare me, but it's definitely bizarre. Very different than the, very uniform, friendly company logo that they have now. Yeah, it's like their early logos like really abstract. Yeah, the THX logo is definitely silly. Yeah, interactive menus. Yeah, there were a bunch of DVD menus I remembered as a kid. I remember the one of Who Bob What Pants, the one where SpongeBob hits his head and he gets the bump. I remember the one for Flushed Away where they're all standing on the toilet, and depending on what menu you select, a different character will fall in. Oh, we have a lot of green. We have a lot of green. I think I could have sworn that I had more blue, but I guess I don't. I remember the logo, or not the logo, the menu for Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Like the music loop that would happen. Oh my gosh, how many of you guys remember the DVD menu for Shrek 2? That was so funny to me. Like how you had certain movies on DVD that just every kid Like you and all your friends wanted to watch that movie to the point where it would just get scratched like immediately. I remember Shrek 2 was one of them. Like every kid wanted to watch Shrek 2. And it was so good that like, the DVD got scratched instantly to the point where it could not be viewed. Ratatouille was another one where it was so good that like it just got scratched right away. Or just cute. It's like death by a thousand cuts. Like it just got scratched so many times that it just would not work. But by the time I was 8, on demand was starting to take off. First movie I ever got on demand, which is like an antiquated term for streaming. First movie we ever got on demand was Coraline, and that came out in 2009. Two, I really don't. I don't know. Shrek 1 is the one I'm least compelled to revisit. I don't know. I know it was very significant for the time, but Shrek 2 is just like, oh, so good. The villain is so much better. Fairy Godmother is such a good villain compared to Lord Farquaad. I'm not really a fan of Lord Farquaad. Fairy Godmother is definitely the best villain so far, at least. I'm not confident that Shrek 5 will top it, but we'll see. It introduces Puss in Boots, who's so great, and he adds some balance to Donkey, and Antonio Banderas is great. John Cleese as the king, Julie Andrews as the queen, the whole thing with Shrek turning beautiful and Donkey turning beautiful. It's just so good. Huh, Pasty, I'll have to watch the short for Ratatouille. I don't think I've ever seen that. Yeah, Ratatouille was like that was one of those movies that I distinctly remember that like, came out and every kid watched it because that was when like Pixar that's like one of if not their best film. But yeah, Ratatouille was just so good. It was such a good film, so good for all ages that like kids watched Ratatouille and were like, "Oh wow, this is good." When you're a kid, it's it's just a good movie. But then I think particularly during COVID, so what, that must have been like 13 years later. Disney Plus dropped in like, 2019, then COVID happened, and a whole bunch of people that grew up watching Ratatouille, they came back and watched it in their early 20s or late teens. And I think we all realized that like, oh my gosh, Ratatouille is like even more resonant and powerful when you're an adult, or at least a young adult, than when you're a kid. Like when you're a kid, it's just, a good movie. But like, for instance, like you watch something similar to Ratatouille, like A Tale of Despero. Like when I was a kid, I saw both of those movies and I just thought they were good. But then you go back and you watch Ratatouille and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then you watch A Tale of Despero and you're like, oh wow, this is like really really lame. What's good, Lenny? Doing it right now. Could have sworn I had more blue. Yeah, but no, we're making some pretty swimming progress on stashing this clay. I wish I could like. I mean, I'll show you the other projects that we got going on. The computer has been charging for over an hour and it's not on fire, which is really good. I dug up an old computer the computer that I started my filmmaking journey with. Like, I have the computer right here that I started making Brick Bob Films episodes with when I was, well, I started the channel when I was 11, but I was making animations way before that. I have it right here. Got a cheap charger from Amazon. I'm seeing if it will power on. But once it started charging, it started making some noise, and like I heard the disk drive activate. I have not heard the disk drive in so long. I need to. I probably. I don't. I would be curious to see how A Tale of Despero's animation, or I guess art style rather, would hold up like on the big screen. But yeah, like that is really funny how in the animation industry or just the film industry in general, very similar animated movies will come out like at the same time. Off the top of my head, like in 2019 we had three movies about Yetis. We had Missing Link, Abominable, and Smallfoot. And that's just one example. There are tons of other examples of very similar animated movies like coming out just at the same time. Megamind and Despicable Me, Ratatouille and A Tale of Despero, pretty similar. I don't think what else. Finding Nemo and Shark Tale. Granted, that was definitely deliberate. Ants and Bug's Life, which was also deliberate. There were a whole bunch of penguin movies that came out in the mid 2000s. Happy Feet, Surf's Up, March of the Penguins. Like, this is so bizarre. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, like, you know, Ratatouille, it talks about all of these things in a very, very sophisticated way. Things like identity, like being your true self, breaking tradition, going out on your own, finding your place in the world. Like, it tackles all of those themes of like being different with a very, very, very sophisticated. Yeah, yeah, Madagascar in the Wild, that's another. But then you have A Tale of Despero, which is just so cookie cutter and black and white, where, like, literally in the movie, you have Despero who's different, and all the other mice are like, What's wrong with him? He's different." And it's like, oh my gosh, dude. It's just so, there's not even the slightest bit of nuance or subtlety to it. It's just like different, different bad. It's just like, ugh. Had a very like ambitious out there art style, but but yeah, it's just like the the writing is just so much more like baby level. But I remember seeing A Tale of Despero in the theaters when I was a little kid. Gosh, I must have been like 7 or something. Yeah, straw, that's precisely what I do. So I have a whole bunch of filler clay as well. I call it filler clay, but it's pretty much just muddy recycled clay. Colors that have been mixed too much. Yeah, I just call it filler clay. But yeah, for a lot of my... Oh no. Oh, what is this? I think I found a cat hair. Yeah, I filler clay. I'll often make stuff with the filler clay, like big pieces, cover the bright colors over it, like the clean colors, and then I'll just peel it off when I'm done. Okay, this is not a cat hair. I I would very much like to try having a cat, but I absolutely cannot with hair. So at my other studio space, there is a cat, and I have to go to great lengths to prevent the the hair getting onto my stuff. I'm already super freaky about keeping my clay clean, and the idea of just cat hair like getting, or any hair, any dust, any debris getting on my stuff, my animation stuff is just, I can't do it. Yeah, James, Despero was, yeah, he reads. There, there's a scene where he like goes to court. He's a kid. He's a little kid that like the whole town knows is just a little weird. Like, so what? Kids are weird. And like the adults are like, you were reading this book. That's that's against the rules. You, are you a man or are you a mouse? It's just so dumb. Just that sentence. Despero was banished from his home for reading. Straw, you're good. You're good. This is why we're here. You know, we are ascending together with the clay animation realm. I'm just deliberating about what container to put this magenta clay in because how many colors do I have left? Oh, I have black. And I have white. I have a lot of white. Okay. We have the black. I might need a big one for this. And we have the white. The white I like left in the package. Just white gets dirty so quick. And I have so much black because it like doesn't get dirty. I mean, it doesn't show the debris that much, so I end up just never needing to replace it. Oh, and I have Puppet Putty by one of my colleagues. Oh, and I have the red. I have the red. Gravy. Oh, and I have Sculptor Gray, which I, it's don't have too much of. Not too bad. I suppose. Oh, here comes the train. The green is gonna have to go in like the biggest one that I have, I think. I have a whole bunch of little ones I don't think I'll be able to use. Yeah, Desperate. It's like, I don't know, French or something. I remember when that movie came out, my babysitter, she was still living with her parents. She got a pet mouse and named him Despero. I think. This one has less volume, less. Okay. I think the red will do in here. So I am using the red clay for a client right now, but these I have in the meantime. Oh, it might not fit. It's even less. can be deceiving. Yeah, I probably have about good 3 pounds of red. I think this will do. James, I love how you mentioned the voice acting for Despero, because it just so happens that's another reason why I don't like A Tale of Despero like that much is I don't like Matthew Broderick. I really don't. He is such a whiny, unpleasant voice, and like I guess for Despero it kind of makes sense because Despero is supposed to be like a child or pubescent mouse or whatever, but then you watch something like The Lion King, and you know, I get that Simba is supposed to be definitely not sound like Mufasa, but like you know, he's a young man, but still he has to be like a strong character, and I hearing hearing Matthew Broderick's just whiny off-putting voice telling Scar to leave and never return, I just does not work. Like, of course, like Matthew Broderick, like you can cast like someone who comes off that way in some stuff, like you know, in some of the Broadway work that he's done. But I really just am not a fan of Matthew Broderick. Like, you know, he's in The Cable Guy. I'm a huge Jim Carrey fan, and you know, I feel like the role that he has in The Cable Guy is good because like he's supposed to be like this whiny, closed off guy. But, you know, Jim Carrey gets me through it. It also doesn't help the fact that like Leslie Mann is in The Cable Guy, and I cannot stand Leslie Mann either. She just annoys me so much. But I endure him for Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is like literally a horrifying monster in that movie, Cable Guy. He's so scary. Yeah, I need to see him, and I need to watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Like, I know what it's about, and I've seen clips of it, but I never gave it a proper watch. I think that was like, I don't know what his breakout was, but that was like, he was really famous for that. Straw, is that true? Is that a fact? It'd be really funny. Just add more letters. I didn't see the Captain Underpants movie. I heard it was good, and I did read some of the books as a kid. I remember I read the some of the Captain Underpants books and Ook and Gluck, which were cavemen. They were kung fu cavemen or something. But I never watched the Captain Underpants movie. I need to see those. But yeah, you know what was another thing that I didn't really like? I saw recently was, or casting thing that I didn't like. I watched Osmosis Jones, and like what what's his name? Chris Brown plays Osmosis Jones, and I really think that he was miscast as Osmosis Jones. Like, I thought like Osmosis Jones is supposed to kind of be like, he's supposed to be cool, and I don't know. I just don't think that Chris. Wait, what's his name? Chris Rock. Wait, I want to make sure I'm getting it right. I don't remember what his freaking name is. Chris Rock, the guy who got slapped. Did I say Chris? Did I say Chris Brown? I hope I didn't. Oh, Chris Rock is the same. And just whenever, I don't know if it's just because I saw Madagascar when I was a kid, but I just think of the zebra from uh from Madagascar. Marty, is that his name? Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Chris, uh, yeah, Chris Rock just doesn't have an appealing voice to me. It's very high pitched. It's very nasally. It's very grating, I find, and I think it was fine for the zebra guy from Madagascar, but not for like a someone like how I'd imagine Osmosis Jones to be. I'm getting blue like all over this. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is just my fault. Oh dear. I still technically like prefer it to like dust though, because at least a tiny bit of blue will get kind of, mushed in after a while. But the lint, that'll just, doesn't matter how much you mix it, you're gonna see it. I can't do this right now. It's just, I can't. Ben Stiller's The Lion. Guys Phoenix, this was a spontaneous stream. I I've never done one of these before. I just came home and I had like a whole bunch of projects to work on. I'm gonna power up my old childhood laptop, which I'm charging right now. I don't even know if it'll turn on. I'm hoping it will. I got all these Tupperware so I can properly store my clay. I have a client project that I'm working on, and I'm also shipping an art piece this over the weekend. But yeah, there's a bunch going on. So I was going to be at my desk anyway. Melman? Was that the giraffe? Dude, like like I know that Madagascar became like such a franchise. Like there were 3 movies, there was TV shows. It was like a franchise, but I just remember seeing the first one as a kid because I was a kid and you put on you put on Madagascar. It's a kids movie. I saw it when I was a kid, but it just didn't leave any impact on me. And recently a few months ago I tried giving Madagascar, the first Madagascar, a proper watch, and it was so boring. I just really thought it was so boring. I just couldn't, it was just so nothing. And not only that, but there's some references in it, some like pop culture references that date the movie so unbelievably hard. It just like, to me, it just kind of like, it's like salt in the wound. I heard that some of the sequels were better, but I haven't gotten deep enough into Madagascar to find out. I wish I had a slightly smaller one for this magenta, but I guess options are a little bit limited. I remember when Monsters vs. Aliens came out. I remember my relative got me this like really boring game for the Nintendo Wii. It was like a Monsters vs. Aliens game. I think I beat it. I played through the whole thing, but looking back, it was like the game left no impression on me. video games definitely left a huge impression on me, like artistically. But you know, it's shovelware, as people call it. It's purely what that game was. It's just shovelware. Yo, that makes me think of something. How many of you guys heard or played the Wreck-It Ralph game that came out on probably a whole bunch of platforms? Everything that was out at the time. But yeah, the first Wreck-It Ralph game, when the first movie came out, there was a tie-in video game release for the holiday season. How many of you guys have heard about that? Pasty, thank you so much. Yeah, like these streams I've been doing probably maybe close to 2 months now has been like an evolution in trying to find ways to share my process with all you guys. The problem with videos like me talking about the recreation of Clay Fighter or reacting to uh, the Britbop Films episodes, Krusty Towers, One Crab's Trash, is that they require so much editing, a lot of footage to go through, and I'm just not, I don't really, I find that the editing really takes away from, it takes time and energy away from doing the creative work. So doing these streams has been a really, really fun way to get everybody involved in my process and see what things look like how my work gets made, and like to be able to, you know, participate it like in all of it, because I find that this work is very like, those videos are very conversational anyway, but at least this way I get to like actually talk to you guys in real time. I want to fit this in here. I'm gonna use my fist. James, that was the first game that you ever played? Oh, my heart goes out to you. So sorry. Singing Monsters, I don't think I've ever seen you here before, but welcome. We love having new faces. Yeah, we're working on a whole bunch of stuff tonight. Just a bunch of miscellaneous tasks, but you know, I mean, how long have we been going? Almost 2 hours. Yeah, I was just gonna be at my desk anyway, so I figured why not just make it a stream. But welcome, good to have you here. Never played Ape Escape. Heard about it. I saw Cat Icarus talk about it. That was another like reviewer that I really liked when I was a kid. But I was never really a PlayStation guy. Oh yeah, so that's what I was talking about. Oh my gosh. The Monsters, no wait, not Monsters versus Aliens. Wreck-It Ralph, thinking about the wrong animated movie. When Wreck-It Ralph came out, that movie was so unbelievably mind-blowing to me. Because it was a huge, big budget Disney movie about video games. Like, video games, like, you know, nowadays we're having all these video game movies come out. You know, it's coming out. We're getting better. But back then, like a quality film coming out about video games, you know, that was a really rare thing. It was very uncommon. Now, of course, Wreck-It Ralph wasn't about like it wasn't like a specific like video game franchise, but still, it was a really good quality film all dedicated to classic video games, arcade games, and it just felt like such a love letter to me. And I loved that movie so much. It was so meaningful to me to see a big budget animated feature film about video games just come out, and I it just changed my life. And after that, I I found out that they were gonna release a game for the Nintendo DS. Well, there was a version for DS which I got, and I oh my gosh, when the Wreck It Ralph movie came out, I I played the games on my mom's phone. There was an app to promote the movie. I played those games on my mom's phone all the time, and I I went onto the website and I would watch the clips from the movie, and I would play the games that they had on their website. I could not wait for that movie to come on streaming. Like, it felt like an eternity for that movie to become available on streaming. And I vividly remember being at the mall with my mom and my sister, and my mom going into the GameStop and buying the Wreck-It Ralph game for Nintendo DS. And just, I could not wait to play the game. Like, I saw her put it in the bag and walk out of the store, and she's like, all right, you have to wait till Christmas. And I was like, ooh, I couldn't wait to play that game. And then Christmas came, she gave me the game, and I put it in my DS and I played it. And I beat it in like an hour. The game was so boring and so like clearly like very lazily just slapped together, and I beat it in like an hour, and I was like, oh wow, that was really not worth the hype. Night at the Museum game, oh my god. I I eventually found out, because I didn't have a 3DS at the time, but there was a version for 3DS, and it was like just the same as the DS version, like just so lazy. Oh yeah, that game was properly disappointing. I wasn't really deeply upset by it. I was just like, oh, that sucked. And I just never played it again. Yeah, I played Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga on my Wii. Loved it. I remember when Skylanders came out, got that for Wii. I saw it at a friend's house, thought it was amazing, and I got it for my Wii. Never got it for 3DS though. Hold on a second. I have like a little bit of gray. That can go right there. I vividly remember getting my Nintendo Wii as a kid. It was a black Wii. I think it was the deluxe Wii or something. Came with Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. But like at that point, the Wii was really special because like growing up, everyone had a Wii. Every single household that had parents and kids had a Wii, and it was just amazing. Um, and But yeah, the when I finally got my Wii when I was a kid, it was a black Wii, and I remember I thought it was so cool because everyone else had a white Wii because they'd been around for a bit. I think the black Wii was new, but yeah, I thought I was so cool because I had a black Wii, and it was like $200. I think it was. It's crazy to think about. Yeah, Buck Brothers. I remember when the red one came out, and I was like blown away. I was like, oh my god, a red Wii? Like, black was really slick, but red, that's like something else. And it came packaged in with New Super Mario Bros. Wii. And I thought that, like, New Super Mario's Bros. Wii being a pack in title, that was like crazy. Granted, it was probably more expensive. But yeah, like the custom, like the red controllers with the red wrapping on it, thought that was so epic. I saw it one time at like someone's house, and I like couldn't believe what I was looking at. It blew my mind. All right, I'm trying to think what we're almost we've almost gone through all the Tupperware. Actually, this is great. This oh gosh, this clay I know is like almost 10 years old, and it's still good. That should be it. The rest looks like filler clay and puppet putty, and the puppet putty stays cleaner, way better. Yeah, I didn't watch. Oh, this has dust on it. Yeah, well, that'll happen. I didn't watch Batman as a kid, but I knew people that had like Lego Batman. I remember my babysitter and her boyfriend. They would play Lego Batman. They had a lot of fun doing that. Yeah, growing up, like my my babysitter, she would watch us, and her boyfriend was so cool. I'm still friends with them to this day, and we would like her. She would play like she would make crafts with my sister, but me and her boyfriend would just we would play all the latest Wii games. We'd play Lego Star Wars. We played Donkey Kong Country, Returns. Yeah, we just had a blast. Played Mario Party. It was great. Mario Kart. We unlocked Dry Bowser on Mario Kart Wii one time, and it was like that was like a heart-stopping moment. It was like a an incredible feat. But yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't see Batman. I didn't see Spider Man. I didn't see like. I don't think there are Lego Harry Potter games. Maybe there are. Maybe they're not. But I didn't see Harry Potter. Yeah, no Lord of the Rings. No Indiana Jones. Because like I knew that like there were other Lego game series coming out, and yeah, but the only one that I played was Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. But like personally, that one was enough for me. Like it was, I just loved Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Oh, did they? That sucks. Secondhand market. Too bad there was no Lego SpongeBob game. That license was just so short-lived and underutilized. I was absolutely blown away when I saw the Lego SpongeBob sets as a kid. Like it was my favorite cartoon, and seeing the sets was just so inspiring to me. And I still vividly remember getting out of my mom's car like a bit before Christmas, and the what was it? What street does SpongeBob live on? Anyway, it was a set with SpongeBob's house, Squidward's house, and Patrick's house. It was that set. Walking in and finding that set waiting for me, I vividly remember what it was like. It was just oh. Oh yeah, there were Lego Harry Potter. Okay, I didn't just imagine that. I like how when I was a kid, I did not see Harry Potter or The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings. I didn't see those, but I did see the Golden Compass, which of course that was like one of those films that came out to like cash in on the whole, fantasy epic based on, a popular book series or whatever. That was one of the it was trying to cash in on that success. I also saw Percy Jackson's The Lightning Thief. That was another one I saw. I saw those, but I didn't see those big popular franchises. Yo, it had a Danny Elfman score? Are you serious? Wait. Okay. So, James, like was Lego Batman, like, were they based on any particular movies, or I think it was because like I wasn't familiar with Batman, the any of the movies, or Harry Potter, that like I thought like, oh, I probably I'll probably just stick with Lego Star Wars because that's something that I know. You know what I mean? Could you imagine a Lego The Golden Compass game, like, or a Lego Percy Jackson's The Lightning Thief game? Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, so another big like fantasy genre film that was coming out at the time during my childhood was Disney was making Narnia, the Narnia movies, but I never like I remember when those were coming out, but I never felt compelled to watch them because when I was a kid, I grew up with the BBC versions. I think they were television films or something like that. You can actually watch them for free on YouTube. I found some people that uploaded them. Personally, if you ask me, they're way better than the Disney versions, but that's just me. The acting is very different. The acting is a lot more akin to theater than film. But the main kids are so much better in the BBC film or TV films than uh, the Disney one. Yo, Pasty, take it easy. Actually, I got your email. I responded to you. This has been a long time coming, putting these in proper containers. So, James, I have seen the first Tim Burton Batman movie, but I didn't watch it when I was a kid. I I've seen it. You know, I think it's so boring. I really find that movie very boring. Jack Nicholson is good, but he definitely upstages like uh he definitely upstages Batman, which I think is kind of a problem. Like, I'm glad that he's very compelling and having fun with the role, and his performance was likely praised because it's Jack Nicholson. But I did feel that he upstaged Batman, and that's a shame because I like Michael Keaton. Like, Michael Keaton's really good, but Michael Keaton I just found to be kind of awkward in the role. Like, I don't know. Personally, I think the Christopher Nolan movies were way stronger. Granted, they're completely different way later. I remember I tried watching what the second Tim Burton Batman movie. What's it called? I tried watching the sequel with Danny Elfman as Dr. Penguin, and I thought I just couldn't get into it. I think Michelle Pfeiffer's in it, like, but I didn't finish it. Yeah, people love Joker, love him so much. Oh, my bad. Yeah, Danny DeVito. Sorry, I wouldn't be surprised if I mix those up. Granted, yeah, Danny Elfman just does the score for every Tim Burton thing because for some reason Tim Burton just loves casting the same people in everything. Yeah, like Tim Burton just like casting the same people in everything, like, I don't know. I feel like in all the Tim Burton films that I've seen, uh, Johnny Depp is good. Helena Bonham Carter is good, and uh, Danny Elfman, I love his scores. I really do. I love his scores. But like eventually you get like, I don't know, some of the stuff just like you think about what could have been like when Tim Burton directed Sleepy Hollow and he got Johnny Depp to play Ichabod. Very miscast. Very miscast. Granted, I've only seen Sleepy Hollow like once, but I thought it was just so. Ugh. Wasn't a fan. I thought I I personally think that there could have been like a much more exciting treatment of Sleepy Hollow, given that Tim Burton had the resources and the talent to like to animation stuff like that. I need to see Ed Wood. I have heard that Ed Wood is great. Oh my gosh. Love Edward Scissorhands. Love it. Johnny Depp is good in that. Such a beautiful movie. Yeah, this is like one of the reasons why like I've been just doing these streams and haven't been like I would love to make videos talking about movies that I like and well let me rephrase that. I like the idea of there being like videos of me talking about media that I like, movies, video games, and stuff like that. Because I like talking about this stuff, but I just if I were doing videos like that, that to me would take away from, why would I want to be editing footage of me talking about something that I didn't make for hours and hours and hours when I could be here at my desk with my, you know, being wrist deep in clay. And I can just talk about the stuff anyway with you guys, you know? It's after midnight where I'm at, but I'm like chilling. Yeah, I don't I'm so like so apathetic to the idea of the live action Dumbo movie. I like no. No. Drop some clay. I don't know where it is. It's on my chair. Yes. The the old the original Dumbo movie from what, 1939, 1940, 42, whenever it came out. That movie's like barely an hour long. It's like what, 70 minutes? And the Tim Burton adaptation is like over, it's like 2 hours or something. Like what? It's Dumbo. Don't you love making movies twice as long for literally no reason? Yeah, that's the thing. It's like a lot of movies that come out nowadays, I just feel apathy towards. I am so indifferent to the new like Toy Story that's coming out. It's just what, the Mandalorian, like I'm no, not, didn't even bat an eye. Every moment made you feel dead. Yeah, like why like why do you need to add a whole bunch of arbitrary uh, plots to that have nothing to do with the reason that people connected with the film Dumbo to begin with? Like, why? It's just there's no reason. It's so stupid. It's pointless. All right, looks like we've gone through all but a couple. All but a couple of these tups. One. Oh, okay. Two very small ones. And then we have a big one. Oh dear. I think I'm gonna do the green. Green's pretty enormous, so yeah. Remember I had a lot of green because I would use it for the grass. Oh yeah, it's very soft. Oh dear. Oh boy. Is this truly necessary? I have another shade of green here, which pisses me off. Maybe we'll put this in like its own thing. I don't know. Green's green. I'll just use it for another project. Let me just clean it up. Oh, yeah, there's a cat hair on here. From all the way from my other studio. Can you believe that? I just can't. I cannot Yeah, isn't that just the thing though, James? It's like it's marketed as live action. So, and by design, I mean the film is. Hold on a second. Drop more. Where the heck is it? Just, I don't want this clay to get mashed into my clothing. I don't even know where it is. But yeah, it's like you. Oh, here it is. You have an you have a film that's marketed as live action, but is entirely animated, and the animation, the purpose of the animation is to look as not animated as possible. It's going against everything that the point of animation is supposed to represent. And then it comes out and it makes all the money, and then, oh, this is the highest grossing animated film of all time. Like it was announced as such. And it's like, okay, so somehow a film like this can just have it both ways, where it's animated, it can have the prestige of being the highest grossing animated film of all time, but at the same time, it's gleefully contradicting the whole point of animation to begin with. Like it's so bizarre. Very bizarre. Never saw the live action Lion King remake, but what, in 2019 there was like 3, right? There was Dumbo, then Aladdin, then Lion King, right? I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. Yeah, very strange times we're living in for like. Oh wait, yeah, and now like Moana came out 10 years ago and we're already getting a live action remake. Like what? It's very very bizarre. And oh my gosh, I did see the trailer for the live action Moana, and there's a lot of things about it that are just straight up like they're not even trying to make it seem like live action. The whole thing with like the coconut tiki people on the ship, they look just like the animated ones in the 2016 film. The chicken, Hey Hey, I think is like he doesn't even look like a real chicken. He just looks like the animated character. I'm just it's so bizarre. Then you have Dwayne Johnson standing around look like looking like he's wearing a bad wig. No, like just I'm sorry, no one can convince me. No wig on earth can convince me that that man has hair. Like his bald head is like part of like his silhouette, you know? He's basically like a real life cartoon character. Yeah, I don't see it. Don't waste your money on it, you know? I'm not going to be seeing Toy Story 5 in theaters. I'm just so apathetic. I am sure that it's going to be, it's going to have quality animation. It's going to have a serviceable story, lots of fan service. It's going to make all the money, but it's not going to justify its existence, you know? To me, Toy Story ended with the third one, and Toy Story 4 is like DLC, but like, I could take it or leave it. Look, I think that Toy Story 4 is a really good film. It's a good story. It's well told. Like, that movie has made me cry. But there's just too many things about it that are starting to contend with the message of the previous movies. And, then so it's just very obvious that they're just making it up as they go. Wait. DreamWorks is making a Coco Melon movie? What? Huh? I didn't know about that. I might take the green out of here one day and put something else in here, but for now this is fine. Bro, just think about it. We're gonna we're gonna get the meme movie one day, the skippity toilet movie one day, or whatever the kids are into nowadays. Like, it's gonna happen. It will happen. There you have it. I'm trying to think how many pieces this set is. But oh no, not too shabby. Couple small ones. The old computer has been charging the whole time I've been streaming. Over 2 hours, like 2.5. And the orange light is still on, indicating that it's not fully charged. So yeah. I cannot wait to see the narrative depth of the Coco Melon movie. They're gonna break new ground with that one. I will get up momentarily to wash my hands so I can commence with the next thing. What am I doing? Okay, I showed you guys the Man Ray thing. I'll probably pull out the computer to see how it's doing. I'm genuinely curious to see if it's gonna function. It'll probably need to stay plugged in. Okay, this, all go away. All gonna get thrown out. Heck yeah. Goodbye. I have to empty the trash. And I'll order some larger tops for the remaining clay. Of course I don't have one for the beige, or flesh, or whatever you call it. A handy cam? I'm trying to think, like, for stop motion you can use older lenses, but having a somewhat modern camera, at least from my experience, really helps. Something that uses modern connections. Like, I had a relative that handed me down a camera when I was a kid, and I was like, wow, a camera. But it was much too old. I never used it for filming. I got rid of it. And I had another relative offer me a camera when she was moving out, and I looked at it and I didn't even recognize a lot of the connections on it. They were so old. It was like over 20 years old. So, I just said no. Remaking Ocarina of Time? Again? I mean, what else does Nintendo do nowadays? Yo, I'll be right back. I have to wash my hands. let's take a look at this computer. I'm like genuinely very curious. Look at how thick this thing is. It's probably because the disk drive, but you know what? I don't want to unravel the cord, but just for the heck of it, I think I want to keep it plugged in. Some slack I need. All right. Oh, a moment of truth. Like genuinely, like I don't know what to expect. Oh my god, just got jump scared by the old wallpaper. Okay, the mouse is working. Oh, that old refresh rate. Oh, there's a long crack in the screen. Oh no. Oh, the computer's like freaking out. Like a whole bunch of things are trying to open. Spotify? Wait. Okay, I think I might just need for a bit. Oof, here's a... The last time you opened Finder, it was force quit. Do you want it? I, Finder is continually trying to start crashing. It. Oh. Okay. This was definitely being used by one of my sisters. I can just tell. Yeah, Finder like cannot start. Wait, don't reopen? Oh. Okay, wait, hold on a second. I'm gonna see how I can do like a safe restart. I but on keyboard, Control plus power. Oh my god. Photos quit unexpectedly. Like the OS just can't get started. Like, or Finder rather. Oh, okay, that was tough. The computer was like just having a seizure. Oh, made the old sound. Okay, that's a good sign. Man. It's crazy to think that this is the camera that I was... Not camera, the Mac I was making all those early animations with. Alright, she's trying to start up. It's turning on, which is nice, but I think the computer is just trying to do way too much. There's a progress bar trying to fill up. It's filling up slowly but surely. Hopefully, it doesn't get stuck at the end. Oh man, man, oh man. I just want to be able to sign into like my like the not my sister's user profile. Oh, it like the second I saw the Spotify logo jump up, I was like, no, the computer's not going to be able to handle this. That's the worst when you're like a kid and you have a computer, and before you know it, every time you're turning it on, oh, a whole bunch of like apps are starting automatically. Oh man. I could just leave it all night, see if Finder can start. No, don't open. Spotify, do not open. Yeah. Computer power's on. Ooh, okay, I think we're kind of getting back to where we were before. Finder just can't get on its feet. How do you restart in safe mode? That actually might help. I don't know where my phone. Oh, that's where my phone is. Here, I'm gonna look on my computer. Ugh. Hold shift. Pretty sure this is an Intel base Mac. Okay, please. Ugh. Just gotta keep holding that shift key. No, I can't do that. Oh. Dude, if I could find like even one old animation on this computer, like made by like 8-year-old me, I would consider this a win. But of course, it's signing into my sister's profile, which has Spotify crashing, uh, crashing it over and over. James, take it easy. Thanks for coming. It was great talking. Oh boy. Wait, hold on a second. You guys see all of those Tupperwares down there? I'm trying to keep my finger on the shift key. I don't think it's even working. I might just have to mess around with this later. But like, yeah, you see all those? Oh. Computer's fighting for its life. Oh yeah, wait. So while we're doing this, so another thing that I'm doing right now is I actually sold an art piece from my website. Popeye is available on my website. By the way, it's in my closet right now. But yeah, he's available for purchase. But a piece I sold was one of these Gygas casts. I'm only gonna have two left, but I think I'm gonna keep one for myself. One that's painted. But yeah, so this one's gonna be going out. I'm trying to think when I made this. Come on. One of these. I have to give it my insignia on the bottom. Such a good game. Where? There we go. If this restart doesn't work, I don't think I'm gonna attempt it again on stream. I might just have to mess around with this after. Oh wait, I forgot. I forgot to do the thing. It's gonna happen a lot. Ugh. 1 second. Oh, my fingers are gonna get in the way. This thing. Click. That's the best I can do. Wait, hold on a second. If only had more hands. Oh yeah. Boom. Now it's official. I don't think I even need to keep holding shift, but I'm just doing it anyway. Ugh. Yeah, it is going. It is going. It's just not there yet. Oh man. Nice. It's so satisfying having all those in containers. Huh. Yeah, it's still going. It's just super slow. So, I mean, like, we've been going for, what, almost 3 hours now? So, I think I'm just gonna have to call the stream here and let you guys know how this goes. Computer's pretty warm. I don't know, I mean, it's running. But yeah, I think I'll call the stream here and I'll get back to you guys. And if this works, it's probably not gonna work even once this restart is completed. But yeah, it's I'll let you guys know if it does power on. I'll let you guys know if I find anything. I wanna have like a hub where I can put stuff that's off of my YouTube homepage, but I don't know. I guess what difference does it make? So I'm gonna call the stream here. It's late anyway. It's almost 1 in the morning for me, but I'll be back soon, and I I'm still preparing to film Brick Bob films, put those into production. Rest assured, any Brick Bob film production stuff will be streamed now that we've done this whole thing, this whole Popeye project, and even just me here at my desk. But I'll, even if I'm not doing Brick Bob films immediately, which I do think it's going to take some time, I'm going to try and brainstorm some other little small projects I could do here on stream. Maybe another sculpture piece. But yeah, you guys all have a good night. It's been so much fun. I'm so glad I did this. Remember, consider becoming a channel member. Check out the Patreon. You can join for free. And I'll see you guys very soon. You guys have a good night. Oh, screen's flashing.